Well, good morning, everybody. This is Jasmine Gonzalez. Welcome to my channel. It's Thursday, December 16, 2021. Yesterday, I went to an interview in Oak Hill, New York. It's an hour from where I live. They told me that I did a great interview. Yay. So now I'm waiting for an offer. They sent me an offer. I think eventually it's all going to come down to what shifts they offer me. That's what's going to dictate whether I take the job or not. It's a 12-hour shift. I don't feel intimidated. The job is like, even though it's a different company from the one that I worked before in manufacturing. Again, they have two parts. They have manufacturing part and they have packaging part. And anybody that works in manufacturing, so it's, if you think of it that way, imagine a gigantic vessel or a gigantic coffee cup, and you put things in that, you mix it, and then you have a product, and then you have to package a product like according to the specs. So it's pretty much it. There's not too much. There's not going to be anything complicated that I cannot do. It's just physical labor, But and other factors that may be involved there, like verifying equipment and yada yada. But it's not like engineering work, which for engineering, like even taking this job, yeah, it could help me in my engineering career, but I'm not going to be doing engineering. That's a saying. And if I want to work as an engineer, I should be doing engineering work, not this type of job. But I don't know. I mean, there was an opportunity, but again, it's all will come down to the shift that they will offer me. They offer me a shift that will work for me. I will take the job. If they don't, I will not take the job. Easy. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of shift I get. I'm not too fond of going into a 12-hour into a night shift. I don't want to be doing a night shift. Last time I did a night shift, it was brutal. Like trying to get sleep during the day. Holy shit! And I remember I didn't have a car, so I didn't have to drive. But I remember I would take the bus to go to work. I would just pass out on the bus. Bus ride, and because the bus took forever to get there, it was about an hour of sleep that I would get on the way to work, and then on the way back from work too. So I really don't like. I don't know if I will take a third shift. I don't think I want to take a night shift. And then the part that is going this is with the 12-hour shift, it's not going to be I have to be down there every day. Unless they give me overtime, and they mention overtime, and that's hopefully it's not mandatory overtime, but don't count on that. But if it's only it will be 4 days probably that I will have to go there, drive down there, and 3 days that I will have to. 3 days that I will have to drive down there. So it's not like I have to drive every day of the week, which is good. But I have to wait and see what it is, I know that it's going to be brutal. And I have been watching videos of people talking about the 12 shift. That is brutal, especially a labor intensive or a very physically demanding job. It's going to be brutal. 12 hours where you have to be lifting stuff and moving it around and all that kind of stuff, It's probably going to either put me in more physical condition, because that's what happened one time when I was working at DSM 40 Tech in Schenectady. I was working as a production operator, and pretty much you had the batch record, tell you what to put in the blender, the gigantic blender, and you will measure the amount, so you will dump it in the blender. And I'm talking that there were, depending on the room that they assigned me, there were rooms that I could be 8 hours straight, just loading a blender with different type of like chemicals, and it was like before I got my uniform, they gave me this paper suit, and I was sweating the whole time. It was like sweating, like it was a workout. It was intense, and I was always hungry too. Like, I mean, I was doing labor-intensive work, you know, for 8 hours, you know, and so it was a lot of work. But was it difficult? Not really, honestly. You just have to pay attention to what you were doing, but it was not difficult. It's just labor-intensive job, physical labor, you know. So I don't expect this job, if I get an offer, to be that difficult either in terms of that, you know. Difficult would be if I have to solve a partial differential equation under on steady state conditions. That would be a little bit difficult, because then I will have to use hardcore math, and my brain would probably enjoy that, trying to figure out how to solve that. In here, the thing that I say is like, even at my current job, like there are days that I'm on autopilot, and that's the one thing that I'm afraid that it could happen that I go just on autopilot, you know. And I don't like that, in all honesty. I don't like to be on autopilot, you know. But again, when they make me an offer, if they make me an offer, the factor controlling me taking the job maybe is probably going to be the shift assigned, depending on the shift. So I have to wait and see what kind of shift they're going to assign me. And then I will have to figure out how to balance the life, because I will have to wake up if I get a day shift, I will have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, drive to take a quick shower, to grab some food to take with me on the road, so I can have at least breakfast, then to go and work 12 hours with a 30-minute lunch break, then drive back for about an hour to make dinner, and then go to bed, because I don't have time for anything else, you know. If they tell me to stay later for an hour, that would totally screw my sleep schedule, because I will not have enough sleep. That's the only drawback that I see about working a 12-hour shift. Like, I don't know, I just hope that, and the thing is, like, there are no buses down there, so I have to be driving for an hour in my car. So if I don't get enough sleep and I fall asleep on the way back, that can be a problem. At work, hopefully I will not fall asleep, but like, I also know that when I was working in manufacturing, there were days that I was feeling like almost close to be able to pass out because I was tired when I was working the night shift. If it's a night shift, that's going to be chaotic, so I don't know, honestly. And I cannot move down there because I'm about to sign a new lease. I'm not going to back down from that, you know. So if I were living closer, it might be a little bit more feasible to just have more time to, I get to stay there, work an extra hour. They ask me to. In here, I will not be able to. I will totally have to pass it to say no. And depending on how the manager or the team lead will feel, I could get in trouble too for saying no to a supervisor, because that's a saying, yeah. But I don't know. We'll see if they make an offer or not. Not at that point yet. I will still have to make a decision when the time comes. But ultimately, I feel like it's going to be the shift that I will be required. That's how it will come to. we'll see what kind of shift they offer, and I will make a decision based on that, and then have to figure out when they're going to give that sign-on bonus that they offer, because they are offering, if you get an offer on the day shift, you'll get $2,000. If you get an offer on the third shift, on the night shift, you get $3,000 sign-in bonus. Like, how desperate a company has to be to offer money to people. Like, I never heard of that. I've heard of like people offering like $500 bonus and other kind of stuff, but I never heard of a company offering $2,000 or $3,000 sign-in bonus. My plan for that is to pay this card, get rid of this expense, pay off this card, use that money, make a big payment on the card, so that way I don't have to pay this card. Although I also have a debt collection case, I'm about to pay money on that. So who knows? But I will pay off this card. Until I pay off this card, that $3,000 is going to go into this card, getting rid of the payment, so that way I no longer have a collection. And that's assuming if I take the job. If I don't take the job, I won't have that money, so I'll continue making my payments. But if I get the job and they get the signing bonus, you know, like, it's going to go into my card. It's going to go into me paying off my card, so that way I don't have that expense anymore. That's the goal. Because once I finish paying the card, I can use that money for something else. Save that money. Save it for something else. Like, go to Puerto Rico for a whole week. That's my goal. Yes, go to Puerto Rico for a whole week. That's the goal. A big Puerto Rican vacation. See my family. Visit the Chinchojo where I can eat frituritas. Stop at a place to eat pinchos, you know. Al Carbon. Holy shit. Go to a beach. Don't know about the beach. I don't feel comfortable wearing a bathing suit, but that's just me. So yeah, that's the goal. But again, it will depend on the shift that is offered. So there's nothing guaranteed at this point. Let's see what kind of shift they offer me. If it's something I like, I will take it. If it's something that I don't like, I will probably not take it. That's how it will be, you know. But we'll see. But yeah, hopefully the job will work out for me. But I have to be honest, I've never done a 12 shift. I have worked in a different plant. Nesco Resources put me to work for a plant called Jondo in Malta. And commute was about 30, 40 minutes, 5 minutes, so it wasn't that bad. It was 10-hour shifts, and they were kind of brutal, but I wasn't at the pilot, I was in the shipping area, which has the portrait or they make it like canvas printing pictures. So I'll grab the picture, put it in a box, and put it in the conveyor belt. That's how it goes. But doing that for 10-hour shift, trying to keep up the production rate, because the production rate was important. So yeah, again, it all depends. But it was 10 hours. It was brutal. Like, we only had like 30 minutes for lunch. It was eat the food, go back to work. You know, it's okay, but it's brutal, honestly. And then sometimes they offer, like, if we wanted to go and work an extra day for overtime, like, we'll work 4 days and then you have like 3-day weekend. That was a day shift. They had a weekend shift, but sometimes we wanted to go and work during the weekend, we could do so. And I ended up working, one time I think I ended up working like close to 50 hours. So it was overtime in there. But just time that you continue going to work, you know, and at some point your life become work, get money, work, and there's something else in your life, and that's not me. And I hate when people will even question or say things like, for example, oh, but you don't have any other responsibilities. Like, seriously? Sure. Like, I guess life is only about work, you know? get it. Life, we need money and that kind of stuff, but there's more to life than work, you know. There's something like when I was younger, my grandfather died. It was painful. My grandfather died unexpectedly, and I had my last conversation with him the weekend before he died. I never called him back during the week, and then he was gone. And although I kind of like critique my grandfather because he wasn't, let's put it this way, he was a womanizer pretty much, and I don't like his attitude sometimes towards women, but the one, still losing a relative, it was painful, you know. It was like the time miss, you know, like I would never had it. When my grandmother died in 2010, I was living I was here in New York at that point. I was going to school part-time. I was studying theater arts. I remember talking to my grandmother about a weekend before, and then the news came in, and I haven't gone to Puerto Rico in a while, honestly. And I couldn't spend one last time with my grandmother in Puerto Rico, person before she died. So the last time that I went was in 2008, and I never got to see my grandmother again. And to me, there's more to life than work, you know. There are other things to do. I like doing other things too. Especially in a job like, yeah, it's a job that could lead to something else, but there's no guarantee that it's going to give me that something else, you know. I have education. I could be doing something more difficult than just putting chemicals into a vessel, you know, doing something more meaningful. And I'm not saying that that job is unmeaningful because you're creating a house product that people will use, but there's something more meaningful that I could be doing. And to me, that is the thing about life. There are more meaningful things than a job, you know. I only work to be able to sustain myself, but I don't see a job as being my whole life at all. That's why I don't do overtime. I don't like doing overtime. I don't want to. And does it affect me because it will generate me less money? Yes. That's why I sometimes prefer not to work two jobs, because there's more. Just focusing on money doesn't make me happy at all. I'm not happy just earning money, you know. There's more to life than making money. And unfortunately, yeah, I get that some people enjoy earning money and all that kind of stuff, but like, I don't, you know. If you are that kind of person, you enjoy being busy with work and all that kind of stuff, you know, good for you. I got nothing to tell you. It's your life. You do what you like, what you want. You know, you enjoy your money, you enjoy being at work. It's great, especially if you're doing something that is also your passion, because then it doesn't feel like you're working. Like wrestling, I don't see it as work. It's something I enjoy doing, you know. If they were paying me, I will still be happy. But when I'm doing a job, giving my time to somebody else, so that way they can dictate and control what I do, you know. Like it's just a job, you know. It's just a job. It's a means to pursue other interests, you know. Even at Walmart here, I decided to cut my hours, my availability, so that way I have more time to pursue other things, you know. So that's the thing. But like I said, you know, it's a decision that ultimately each of us have to make. And yeah, even though it's going to be a 12-hour shift, I will only work my hours, but I don't think I will be doing overtime, because going down there is going to. It's like, how much energy do I have before my body says like I need sleep, you know? And I have had my sleep being screwed up this past few weeks, and I haven't felt good about it. I finally catch up on sleep yesterday, and I feel way much better today. Like I don't feel like tired. I don't feel like exhausted, and also because I was a bit sick too. So, and I'm still kind of in the trail end of the cold, but like the dry air doesn't help at all. But yeah, that's something that to me, having enough time for sleep is important. You know, sleep is needed. You know, you go through a few days of not sleeping, it will wreak havoc on your body. And I'm in my 40s, so like, I'm not that young anymore. So yeah. So I have to take that into consideration. So so we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of offer they give. We'll see what kind of shift they give. You know, but definitely, like there's a lot of questions that I have in my brain, honestly. And like, if I were younger, maybe. But at the point that I'm in my age, it's like, do I want to be screwing up my sleep schedule, or do I want to be screwing up my diet, or things like that? I'm like, different point in life, maybe I would not mind too much, but like, yeah, I think as I've gotten older, it's like I want to work less, and I don't want to work more, especially physical labor. So, like, yeah, how long can you keep a job that is highly physically demanding? You know, before, like, considering that I have like this year I was dealing with a lower back problem, which I still have. Like, it's not going to go away. I don't know how it's going to get over time, you know, especially if I have to be lifting things that are heavy all the time. And then yeah, so those are things to consider. And then my IBS, which also gets in the way. Like, if I need to go to a bathroom, I need to go to a bathroom. And I'm sorry for whatever I'm doing, but like, if my stomach tells me that I need to go to the bathroom, I had no choice. I have to go to the bathroom. And sometimes employers and even some people don't understand that. And IBS is a real thing, you know. A lot of people get affected by that, you know. And the problem is, like, it's not necessary that you as a person are considered responsible. No, that's not true. You are not irresponsible. You are a good person. It's just that society sees you like, oh, you have to be working all the time, and if you go to the bathroom, it's like children, you know, like, I'm not a child, I'm an adult. If I need to go to the bathroom, I go to the bathroom, you know, like, that's how it works. It's not like I'm overusing my time. I go when I need to go, and telling a person that, oh, they have to wait for their break or whatever to go to the bathroom, can go after a break is over, you know, that's fucked up. Let's be honest, that is fucked up. The fact that Amazon workers can even some don't dare to take a moment to go to a bathroom. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's like, what kind of world are we living where we're treating people like shit, dehumanizing them? It's not good. So, but we'll see. Honestly, like I know what I can do. I know how my body works and reacts. You know. And it's funny because, like, even one time I was working at DSM and I had to go and use the bathroom, and then the team lead said, like, oh, try to hold yourself until your break to use the bathroom. You know what? That's not how my body works. And it's crazy that a person will say things like that in a meeting, you know. And that's one of the things that bothers me about some jobs, you know. I had another job that my supervisors would come yelling at me. What the hell were you? You had to be on the phone all the time. You have to take phone calls. You can't be going in a long break. Yada yada. You had your break. Blah blah blah. And then they will report me with my medium supervisor, and for me using the bathroom. Like, it's like, come on, I'm a human being, I'm not a machine. If I need to go to a bathroom, I need to go to a bathroom. It's unfair. It's ridiculous. Like, and then the last bit was like seeing how a worker wanted to go to their family, and they told him, no, you cannot leave. Like, that's highly fucked up. Yeah. I'm still trying to understand that, you know. Wanted to check, to go to her family, check on them, you know. When there was a tornado coming and they told him to not go. That is fucked up. That is totally, completely fucked up. Like, we have no rights as workers, you know. We really don't, you know. We're disposable. We're just ants to make the millionaires rich. That's it. It's it. It's not a good place to be, you know. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Peace out, everybody. Stay safe, wear a mask. I went 25 minutes talking about shit, but yeah, it's going to ultimately, I have a decision to make, and I only know what kind of decision would be better for me. No, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Ultimately it's my own decision. And again, it will depend on the chef. That's how it's narrowing down what kind of shift I'm going to be working, what kind of shift I get offered. If I get an offer, that's what's going to dictate whether I take this a job offer or not. And that doesn't mean if I get a job offer. So we'll see what happens.